Callie. On this episode of Learn in the Kitchen, I'm going to show you how to make pizza di spaghetti. What that is basically spaghetti pizza. It's in the form of a pizza, but it doesn't have any crust. Now, what this recipe really is it's leftover spaghetti, some eggs, and anything you have left over in your fridge. Any lunch meat, chicken, vegetables. Put it in a pan, let it cook, stick it under the broiler, it's done. It's perfect for like a light lunch with like a side salad or a light dinner or as a snack eaten cold right out of the fridge. It's delicious. So easy. Okay, here's what you need. You need eggs, some cooked, drained, and cold spaghetti. You need some sopressata. Now this is what I'm using. It's my basic recipe. It's my favorite way to make it. So I'm using sopressata. I'm using short provolone, parmigiano reggiano. You're going to need some whole milk and some salt and pepper and a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. This is super quick, super simple. It's the kind of dish that I think any Italian woman, I don't know who came up with it, but it's brilliant. It's basically leftover spaghetti with anything else. Mix it up with some eggs to hold everything together. Perfect. So, what I'm starting doing is I'm just going to, with a fork, I'm just going to whisk these eggs. I want to break them up. And the whole milk. Wonderful. Now I'm going to put in parmigiano reggiano. Grated it nice and finely. My mother always made this for us. Whenever we were going to go to the beach, anywhere we go anywhere. She never allowed us to go eat out if we were to go to the beach or to a park or anything. She always packed she always packed us food. So I'm just going to season this lightly with salt and pepper, and very, very lightly with salt because there's a lot of salt in the cheese and in the sopressata. I'm putting the cold spaghetti in here. Now, if you have leftover spaghetti, like maybe with marinara sauce or meatballs, don't worry about it. The sauce in there is delicious. I often make it with tomato and spaghetti all the time. It's just as good, if not better. Just don't have any on hand, and this is my favorite way to make it. Clean hands, cook's best tool. Get in there and really mix it really well. Now I have just a few tablespoons of olive oil in a big nonstick skillet, and I'm just making sure the sides have olive oil on them as well. Now, clean hands. Take half of this mixture. Mix a little bit of, here we go. Take about half of it, scatter it around really well. I'm actually going to turn this up a bit. Really, really well. Like so. And take your provolone and scatter your provolone over that. Like that. Lovely, lovely, lovely. You just know this is going to be delicious. Like I said, any leftovers you got in the fridge, leftover ham, prosciutto, turkey, chicken, steak, you name it. Take the other half over the top. I like that the sopressata shows because it crisps up when you put it under the broiler for the last 5-10 minutes or so of cooking. Okay, this is exactly what you want. Trust me, everything is going to adhere together. Okay, medium-high heat for about 5, maybe even more than that. It's going to be about 7 to 10 minutes. You want the bottom to start crisping up and turning a light golden brown. And then we're going to cover this and continue to cook it for a few minutes. But I'll show you how to do that. It's been about 6 minutes. And as you can see, the underneath it's getting nice and lightly golden brown. Exactly what you want. At this point, you turn it down to low, medium low. And we're going to cover this. Now, I don't have a lid that's big enough for this pan. So, I'm just using, some aluminum foil. A lot of my pots and pans are my grandmother's, my mother's. So, some of them, the lids are gone. And so, that's good. We're going to do that. Now, this has to cook on medium-low for 10 minutes because you want the inside to cook as well as the bottom. So leave it like this on low for 10 minutes and then we're going to pop it on the broiler. For about 10 minutes. Perfect. Now it's not a bad idea that in those 10 minutes you come every few minutes or so and just scrape your spatula like so and let the eggs run so the eggs cook a bit faster. The bottom, as you can see, is golden brown. crispy. Now, I'm going to pop this under the broiler, but good tip to know is that this was my grandmother's pan. So the handle, obviously, you can't go under the burner, the broiler, otherwise it'll melt because obviously it's plastic. But so what I do is I take aluminum foil. In this case, I'm actually taking some of the foil that I used on the top, like so. I love these old, sort of rustic looking pans that you get from, your grandmother and her they've had them for years. I just think it makes the dish that much more special because it has its own memory. It has its own life. So it's beautiful, and I love that. So the handle has to be wrapped in some aluminum foil. So what? I just do 3, just to be extra sure. Like so. Okay. Now this is gonna go under the broiler. Now it's hard to say how long because all your ovens vary, but normally it will take about 10 minutes or so. You want the top to be nice and crispy, and you want everything to be golden brown. You do not want it to be too dark, otherwise it will taste burnt. It's not appetizing. So under the broiler, keep an eye on it every 5 minutes or so. After the first 5 minutes, keep an eye on it because it can go really quickly. So let's do it. Here we have it, guys. Just came out of the broiler. It was under the broiler for about 10 minutes, and then the top is nice and crispy, exactly how you want it. Make sure you do use a nonstick pan because nonstick skillet because look, it is literally going to slip right out, which is exactly what we want. Oh, I love to serve this on a big pizza plate. Look at the bottom. Can you see that? It's perfect. It's exactly what you want. This is a meal in itself, and this is literally made out of leftovers. Anything you have left over in the fridge. So feel free to play around with whatever you have left. Vegetables. The only thing I wouldn't put in here is fish, because I don't think it's appetizing because of the hot fish, and it's ugh. But I would put in some chicken, leftover, any kind of leftover deli meat or deli cheese, whatever you find, whatever you have. I'm gonna use my little pizza slicer. This is actually my wedding favors that I had for my wedding. My husband and I met at the restaurant that I was working at with my dad, and my husband always got the same pizza every day for lunch. So when we got married, I think when we found these for our wedding favors, it was like meant to be. So, hi, look at that. Look at the cheese. Look at that. Oh, let's do that. Oh, I love that. Be very careful not to add a lot of salt. Maybe 1/8 of a teaspoon, very little, because everything else is very salty. I'm just gonna cut a small little piece. You should wait 10 minutes before you cut this, but I can't help it. I'm too excited. I'm just gonna steal. I love this. It's so good. I love the crispy spaghetti on top. It's like the best part. Sometimes I pick them off the top. It's my favorite part. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. Super simple, inexpensive, a great leftover recipe you'll impress any guest with. They'll never know it's leftovers because it's that delicious. So to get this recipe, check out my website, www.laureninthekitchen.com. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.